What's going on, guys? It's Jimmy here. Why the national debt may be affecting you personally a lot more than you realize. We're going to go over that here in this video, as well as President Donald Trump's promise to cap credit card interest rate at 10%. Yeah, so let's jump right in here. We're live here at the It's Jimmy show on YouTube. Let me know if you can see and hear me. Type yes in the chat. Let me know where you're tuning in from, your city, state, or even your country. And take a look here. The rising national debt may be affecting you personally a lot more than you know. Let's take a short look back at the national debt here. Just a few months after hitting $37 trillion, the national debt reached $38 trillion in just 2 months, the fastest accumulation of $1 trillion in debt outside of the pandemic. This is a major milestone because the government is racking up debt faster than you can count it. And we've gone from $37 trillion to $38 trillion to now $39.1 plus trillion dollars. And this is affecting the average person more than you may think. This is $357,000 of debt per taxpayer in the United States. An insurmountable amount. Executive Vice President of Policy at the Peter G. Peterson Foundation said, "This debt is like a boa constrictor squeezing its prey. The debt is slowly doing the same to the American economy." Quote, "The squeeze comes in the form of slower growth, less job creation, higher costs of borrowing for consumers, buying homes, or businesses invested in equipment. All of these are consequences of higher debt." The total debt has actually tripled in the last 20 years, going from around $12 trillion in 2004 to $36 trillion in 2024, now nearing $40 trillion. Now, there's only a seemingly few ways to get out of this. Think about your own personal situation. If you're in debt, what do? You bring in more money, you make more money, or you spend less, or, something like your investments perform better. There's only a few things you can actually do in the big scheme of things. And government doesn't seem to be doing any of this, whether it's under the Republicans or the Democrats here. They just keep spending way more money than they're making. And it's affecting all the way down to local governments, city governments, and state governments as well, as we're starting to see the constriction of people that don't want to pay property taxes, want to pay lower taxes. And this is now starting to affect our schools, our local police, our local fire. And we're starting to see lots of layoffs and budget shortfalls even at the local level because of spending problems. Now, the problem here is that inflation has gone up here considerably over the last couple of years, and people who go to work, whether it's a teacher, a fireman, a policeman, or anything, they want more money. They want to make more money than someone working at McDonald's if you're in a skilled position. And when McDonald's is literally paying $15 an hour in some areas just to start, well, you can see how inflation is starting to get to the best of us. Now, if you're in a home that you locked in a mortgage many, many years ago, that's actually good news for you because your mortgage has not gone up, okay? If you were paying $1,500 5 years ago, you're still paying $1,500. $1,500 15 years ago was a lot of money. Now it's not as much money as wages has gone up. The one big caveat there is property taxes. We've seen massive property tax increases here, even just over the last 12 months. Significantly over the last 2 to 3 years, property taxes have risen in almost every single county in the United States. Now, one major factor that is affecting the debt at the national level and your personal debt are interest rates and the Fed controlling interest rates. And while most of us want to see lower interest rates so that they can pay down their personal debt, pay down their credit cards, and the government would actually pay less debt. However, that can also lead to higher inflation, so it's a sticky situation. And right now, the Fed is saying they're not sure if they can even lower rates because of the inflation right now, and they may have to even raise rates in the near future. Now, President Donald Trump has called on Congress to enact a 10% credit card interest rate cap. However, this is actually a change from his previous statement where he urged credit card companies to impose the cap and implied his administration would enforce it. However, some experts have said that lowering credit card interest rates to 10%, which would mean that in some cases, default rates can get close to that for companies. And remember that there's no secured collateral. It's not like a car loan or a home loan that if you default on it, the bank can go take that back. When it comes to credit cards, there's most of the time nothing that the banks can go take back. And this leads to higher interest rates because when somebody files bankruptcy or stops paying, the banks are just left SOL. As opposed to if there's a home loan or a car loan, they can take that back. And that often is why car loans and home loans have lower interest rates, because there's collateral, there's an asset there that they can tie it to, that they can take back to recoup their money if the buyer, stops paying. But we have not seen President Donald Trump come through with a 10% cap on interest rates. With the pros and the cons for it, we just have not seen it. And the other issue here is that the Fed may be forced to stop lowering interest rates because of how bad inflation is. Many people which think that inflation is higher than the government is telling us at only 3%. Most people aren't buying that, and they think that something is either wrong with the data or they're flat out lying to us. What do you think? So I will keep you up to date. Make sure to subscribe down below and click the bell icon so you don't miss out on future videos, and make sure to share this video so other people can get this information. By the way, have you checked your Social Security statement lately? You've probably noticed that Medicare is taking a bigger bite out of your paycheck. That's because 2026 Medicare rates have increased more than your Social Security check. That's right. This is why it's so important for you to call Chapter Medicare. We've literally had hundreds of people in my audience alone save thousands on their Medicare. They compare every plan in your area to find the one that works for you, the best plan for you, and put money back in your pocket. On average, people who have used Chapter have saved $1,100. $1,100 a year. And there's no cost to use their services at all. And in under 20 minutes, you'll know exactly where you stand. So call Chapter today with this phone number, 833-700-1320, and get to talk to a real person about your situation. Or click the link down below in the pinned comment section. Click here to see the surprising info of what's going to happen to your bills starting on April 29th. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next video.